What's going on, everybody? Stock Jock here, up $1,350 on the first hour of trading today. Most of it and all of it is actually on Tesla. Uh, this is first off, I apologize for not doing videos for quite some time. This is my first video in months. I've recently moved into a home office and I had to build that myself, so it took some time. I'm just now getting settled in. So hopefully, I can get these videos cranking again. But anyway, let's get into the trades. My first one right here on Tesla. It was a break-even trade, but I'll go over what I was looking for. First off, the reason why I like Tesla is it's a catalyst event. They're unveiling their new truck tonight. No, it will not be able to be bought anytime soon, no doubt, but it's a pretty big deal as I think it's 15 to 20% of all vehicles sold in the U.S. are trucks. So this is a pretty big market that they don't have a piece of yet, and there's high short interest in this stock. It's ripping recently. This is the daily chart down here. It's ripping up recently from getting a credit upgrade as well as an earnings beat. So it just really has the potential to squeeze shorts in this final catalyst. And I think after this, it'll probably be a sell the news event because there's just not anything else to push it higher for a while. Maybe you can move back down to like the 20-day moving average or something. But this is like the last hurrah, last maybe squeeze potential. But regardless, it's a catalyst event, and it could move up into that, and that's what I was banking for. So out of the gates, we kind of had this opening range on Tesla, popped up, pulled back down here, and then, ideally, once the opening range has been made, so here and here, I like to buy the break of that opening range. I was not around when that happened. I was looking at something else, so I missed this pop to here. After the pop, I like to wait for a pullback, which is this candle right here, and then candle over candle. So this is the candle I played, and I had to play it with options because, I wanted size, so to speak, and I ended up taking, 10 contracts, which is basically 1,000 shares. And I was looking for, since it's outside of the Bollinger Bands, I was looking for a break of this, we got the candle over candle. It got a 50-cent move, but I was really hoping for a break of 358 and a run up. And you'll see I was pretty green on the trade, and I had my hand on the sell button, and I was like, come on. No, you can't see. So I had my hand on the sell button here. I was like, come on, just one more crack at 258, and I'll be out. And it just couldn't do it. And as soon as it looked like it was coming back down, I hit the sell button, and I sold for basically break even. I think I lost $5 of the trade after the commissions. But normally, the trade idea was sound, so we had the pop, pullback, and then I play immediately the candle over candle of the pullback candle. So the break of 350, 750, I went long, got the pop. Got exactly what I was looking for. I just didn't take profit because I thought I was going to get a little bit more. Got a little greedy. Didn't work out. So that's what I was looking for, and here is the trade.
All right,
My level 2 right now shows 290 by 328, so we'll see if it opens up towards 3.
There's a bounce,
So that bear flag resolved to the downside on HEPA, so I'm going to finish probably with only the $135 on that stock.
Long some calls, looking for this 1 minute candle over candle break high a day. Some resistance here at 358, so I might just take profit real quick. See what it does.
My chart doesn't populate a 200 moving average on it yet. Let me just check my other chart here. Yeah, I don't have a 200 on it yet. I think because it's not been trading long enough to develop one.
Taking my profit. Out break even.
HEPA, I got one good
What
trade.
the heck?
On two.
All right, so my next trade is actually a swing trade. This is Disney. It's been kind of consolidating. We've got, this nice support line here. We've got a nice resistance line here. This is just a swing trade I bought with calls next month, the December 20 calls. Just looking for a break to this top side. I'm buying support and it's support has held a few times. We're getting the Stokes. This is the 30-minute chart. I haven't even checked the other ones. Hourly, looking a little weak here. 4 hour down. What's the daily? That's the 2-day. Daily, looking a little down. So it might break to the downside here. I don't know. But if we can get a curl off the support line, ideally you could take some profit at the resistance if you have to. Ideally we break it and go, all-time highs, or at least 52-week highs. I don't know what the all-time is on this thing. But it's a simple trade, buying support. I don't really like what the oscillators are doing. But, as you can see, when we get down to these levels on the Stokes, you have these big run ups. I'm kind of banking on that we'll get another big run up here, big run up here, big run up here, big run up. So we're kind of doing the same thing. Now, if this cranks down, that would be pretty bearish, but just kind of going with the pattern and go with the pattern until the pattern doesn't work. That's the swing trade. But the next day trade I took was Tesla. Again, I'm playing calls here because I don't have enough in my account to play shares. Shares would have been ideal for this, but you got to play calls. We got that pop. Here's the pullback, and this is the first test of the VWAP here. This teal blue line. So I was buying it. Let's see. I got in. Let's see. Yeah, right here on this candle, this tap here, and when it tapped it, it bounced real hard, and I bought it. I got the 718. Let me open this up so we can see what we're getting. There we go. That's better. So I'm playing the 355 calls, just looking to grab this. It bounced up, and I almost took profit, but I'm like, man, this is just going to bounce and rip because this was such a strong bounce. I thought it was going to show strength, moving right back up to high day, but it didn't, and it rejected that 9 EMA, came back down, and it found the bottom of the Bollinger Band here, and then it finally reversed. After the reverse, this 358 level again, it is, I believe, a pivot point. Let me pull this up. Tesla. These yellow lines here I have are pivot points. So this, where is it? So yeah, I have this line here as a pretty big spot for Tesla. It's just a resistance line. I knew that from before. I can't even remember why I have this. Let's see. Yeah, it's just, you can kind of see intraday support here. We were hitting it right through here, or I guess it was right here. So, it's going to be resistance. We eventually broke through it and came back down, tested support. So it's a significant area, that 358. But I sold half up in here, and then we got this candle under candle, and it just blew through the 9 and the 21 EMA. And I sold the other lot for actual loss. I made about $100 on this trade. So I made about $300 on the first lot, and I lost $200 on the second lot for an overall trade of $100. So I was ideally hoping to see this run high day here, but it just wasn't ready.
'22nd Century Group XXII now up 18.9% here. XXII.
All right, I bought the VWAP with calls. It's the first test of the VWAP. About the 355 calls for 719. Didn't get the best fill, but just hit a market when I got the VWAP. First test of it, I gotta assume it bounces there, which it just did. Nice.
Yep,
74,
nice volume. Increasing volume on the
75
move
break.
up, light
It's
volume
good.
pullback.
Top of the Bollinger Band on the 1 minute is basically 358.30.
No, you can't sell during a halt. You have to wait till resumption.
Probably sell up there. And let the price reset. $358.
HEPA, watch this here over 450.
Alright, sold half at 750. Sold half the calls from 750 from 719.
I'm long HEPA for the break over 450 and a target of high a day, 460, 470. I was expecting it would already be over 450. Stopped out 441. Having kind of a hard time on HEPA. I'm now down 460 on it. Up 822 on WAFU, so 357 on the day. Should probably just stop trading HEPA.
Five-minute oscillators trying to reset to the top side here on TSLA, so
440 is the breakout.
might give us
on
another opportunity
WAFU
on
the
it.
daily chart.
Here's the VWAP breakdown.
Halt time was 10:06.
Wow.
Resumption should be 10:11.
That needs to get reclaimed quick.
No, I'm not in it. I'm just watching it. I have an order for 1,000 shares at 440.
Gas storage, a draw of 89 BCF is expected.
Out the rest at 7. Just gonna button it up and give me a better setup. I don't like the way the 5 minutes looking on Tesla. So just needs to consolidate a little bit longer. Basically made $100 overall in this trade. All right, this next trade on Tesla is where the fun really starts to begin. So here on Tesla, we had that consolidation that I was waiting for. And where's my drawing tools? Okay, draw line. Okay, so this is what I was looking at. disregard this. This is the 5 minute. This is the current 5 minute, I guess. So I guess we're somewhere around here. So anyway, this is a 1 minute chart that I was looking at, and we had a pretty clear wedge forming right here. And this was happening around the VWAP, consolidation. I was looking for the break of this wedge and a run to about high a day on that. Excuse me. So when it looked like that the downside move, you can kind of see this candle under candle, was not gaining any steam, didn't break that downside candle. Once it started to crack this top line, I was going to take my shots. I first bought 20 contracts. This is, again, the 355 calls. This is the weekly calls. This is expire tomorrow. Just playing it for day trade, though, so not really worried about it. I bought 20 of them at 723, call it. And another thing I liked about it is my oscillators were resetting to the upside. So your RSI was up, your MACD was up, your Stokes were up all in the 1 minute. And this also coincided with the 5 minute as well. If I were to pull this up on the 5, I think we're over here. Yeah. E-Trade really does a terrible job of stacking these, but if I were to pull it up on my other chart, I bet it would be better. Let's do that over here. Where is this morning? Okay, so this is what I was looking at this morning on this chart. Boom. Boom. Okay, this wedge right here. And as you can kind of see here, this is a 1 minute chart again, but the Stokes pointed up, RSI pointed up, and this MACD, I like to have all three of them pointing the same direction. That kind of gives me confidence that that is going to go the direction that I think it's going to go. So in this way, it is up. And sure enough, we get that break of the wedge. I actually bought a second lot. Let's see. Trade. I bought a second lot, so I have 40 contracts. 4 minutes later, I bought it. Let's see. This is still 5 minutes. Let's change that back. Get back over here. So 24. So right as it was breaking, I bought 20 more contracts. So I first bought my first lot here, thinking it was going to break. It did not. Pulled back. Held the VWAP. Held these the 9 and the 20 on EMAs. Curled back up again. And that's when I loaded up a second lot because I felt confident there. And that's when it took off. My measured move on this, if you were measured from here to here, was a move back to 359, and we did eventually get it, and it obviously has broken it since. But that's what I was kind of playing for. I took profit, I believe, before that. Let's see, sold half at 1026. So just taking some profit on this first pop. Again, this is that 358 level, which has been resistance this morning. I'm going to take profit at resistance, at least half. The other half, it did break that, and I sold the rest as it looked like it was going to come back down through 58 and break through. But it ended up being like a little bear trap because then it did take off to the upside. But nonetheless, happy. So my entry is around 721. My exit overall is over 755-ish average, I would say. So a nice 30-cent win on 40 contracts. It's about $1,200-ish, I think I made on this trade. So it's a really nice win, and that concluded my first hour trading. I'm currently up. You can't really see that, can you? Even if I hover. What if I go over here? Can you see here? Nope. All right. Need to change the screen size. But anyway, I'm currently up about $1,700. I'm up $1,698 right now on the day. Looking to day trade, Tesla some more. But anyway, let's get back to this trade, and you'll see it live.
So stop down.
Am I missing my breakout
The
on
high
Tesla?
is now
No. Okay.
575. 575 there.
5 minutes trying to curl here. Break of 357.50 is what I'm looking for on Tesla.
So now, the stock above the 520 level has no resistance. So if it can hold 520, then we may see a much bigger move on this. It has to
Pull
hold
back just a
520.
little bit. 1 minutes are looking good. I'm gonna buy this pullback. 722
Shares of
crap ass
IGC popping
fill.
to 98 cents on that
I mean, that is some ass fill there.
trademark post being circulated now.
Increasing volume, which is great.
Wow.
One red candle at the top on light volume.
Alright, I'm out the rest of my Tesla calls at 7:45. Looks like it wants to pull back, so I'm gonna get out of the way. 5 minute, not so hot anymore. And that's where I finished the day, up $1,350. Well, the first hour, $1,350. Like I said, I'm currently up close to $1,700 right now. Looking to continue to play Tesla into the close. Looking for a run up into this catalyst event. Hopefully get a gap. Hopefully this truck doesn't look stupid and people are like, no, and this thing tanks. So I'll play small size, something that I'm willing to risk losing because it is, an unknown. But nonetheless, it is Tesla. They have a cult following. It's probably going to be a smart play to the upside. If you have any questions on my trading style, feel free to ask. I have a free chat room. It's in the link down below in the description of this video. It's the Discord chat room. Please feel free to come in. A lot of new traders in here, a lot of experienced ones. It's completely free. We help people learn how to trade. It takes a long time, and you definitely do not want to do it by yourself. All the chat rooms and news sources that I use are linked down below as well. If you have any questions on those, feel free to ask. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video.